2022 was for Sutlej and for the global home textile industry as well?
I would say that 22 we started in a good way. The first quarter was good enough, but subsequent to that, because of the geopolitical situation and the inflation, stagflation we got into, a couple of last two quarters, have been under pressure because of the overall pressure on the demand and also on the rising cost. Now, riding on these two factors and the geopolitical situation, the volatility in the raw material, so all these factors put together, I think the industry overall is under pressure over the last two quarters.
So, as we are stepping into this new year, and given the global challenges remaining to be pretty tough, what are your expectations on the current year, and more particularly for the home textile industry?
See, if you look at, this calendar year, we are stepping in with a lot of, I would say, baggage of last two quarters. The industry as a whole, textile industry, has been under pressure. And if we talk of home textiles, both bed and bath and living room, which we are in, I think a couple of last quarters were really, not so good for the overall home textile industry. Because of reasons on the demand, the retailers had pipeline which was full, because prior to this in 2021 there was a lot of buying by the retailers, and now with the pressure on demand, they had to get away with the inventories, which they did, which resulted in less buying over the last two quarters, and hence we are the industry is under pressure. Going forward, I feel that if the geopolitical situation improves, it eases out, and also retailers start buying more, riding on less volatility of the raw material, especially the cotton. What happened to cotton? That also led to all this situation. And I think 23 should be a little better, and we hope so. And we keep our fingers crossed that going forward from the next fiscal year starting April, we should see much better performance for the home textile industry world over.
Sutlej is a large conglomerate with a very strong presence across the entire textile value chain, and home textiles is a segment where there has been increased focus in recent times. So, can you look back on the journey of Sutlej in the home textile business, and what is your future, vision for this segment?
Sutlej has been in the living room for last few years, and there was a transition that in 2018-19 we had mainly products which were limited by the loom segment, maybe jacquard, and on the substrate we were on chenille and all that. The company has undergone a transformation since 2019 in this segment, when for the last 3 years we have introduced many products, including sustainable products, including what we call the coated product, indoor and outdoor both, and also riding on, this is a design business. And so riding on that, I think we have one of the best collections which have been developed over the last 2 to 3 years. And also one more thing which as a focus on home textiles, we launched a brand in India by the name of Nestera. So there now we have presence in almost, you can say about almost tier 1, tier 2 cities in India. So as a result, when we got into this, we see there is a lot of scope as when we go near to the consumer. So it is basically B2C, B2B2C. So I think for us, this is going to be a game changer as far as the brand Sutlej is concerned. So we are pretty well focused on this. And one advantage we have is that we are fully integrated. So we have our own recycled polyester fiber, we have our own dyed yarns, melange yarns, which can be very well used for living room product. So which we are now getting into. And as a result, we have seen in this HEIMTEXTIL 23, we have many collections which differentiate us from the rest of the world on this home textiles, I would say, sphere or home textile space.
And an important terminology in textile industry today is sustainable manufacturing, sir. sustainability has become not just a fashionable term. Today, it is you cannot manufacture otherwise. It's become that important. So, how is Sutlej's focus on sustainable manufacturing, and how do you ensure that every product that you offer to the market is sustainable?
See, I agree with you that this is no longer a buzzword or a fancy word. See, we have to get into this. Looking at what we will leave behind for the next generations. And textile industry, I think, if over the last 1.5 year, has seen this shift towards sustainability, not only in product but entire manufacturing process as well. For example, I must tell you, and as you may be aware of, that in Sutlej, we started with this recycle of polyester fiber. We recycle almost 7 million bottles every day, which transform to almost 120 tons of polyester fiber on daily basis. And also, in almost all of our plants, we have what we call zero discharge, where we are recycling water. Like in our home textile division, we are recycling almost 93-94% of the water what we are using. And also on the product side, we have fibers which are sustainable. We are using almost any fiber which is available. We can spin that and we can convert that into home textile fabric and all the made ups. As far as the overall sustainability is concerned, Satluj is very much focused on ESG, that is environmental, social, and governance. So, as now it is also mandatory in India. Coming forward next year from 24, that first 1,000 companies will have to report their ESG. So Satluj is preparing very well for that, and wherever there are little gaps, so we are going to plug that in the coming years.
Right. So, on that note, sir, I want to thank you for this interaction. I want to wish Sutlej and the entire team the very best, and hope 2023 and beyond is a great year for Sutlej and the global home textile industry as well.
Thank you, Mr. Gopal, and I must appreciate that you have been supporting the industry very well. And Textile Magazine, which I have seen, has grown in the last 5 to 7 years to a level where this is acclaimed to an international publication for the textile industry. You are doing a good, I would say, service to the textile industry by bringing in certain stories of good manufacturing and the products. And thank you very much for your support to Satluj as well as to the industry.
Sure. Thanks a lot.